Welcome back to the Didarium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a video about my friend Trey and his 36 vintage AT-ATs. So Trey actually got me back into collecting all the stuff that was going on, like from the 2005 or so to 2009 era. I just kind of got out of it, but he kind of got me back into it. He actually got me to finish collecting the last 17 and just getting a complete vintage collection. So definitely inspiration to me. Okay, so Trey, what got you back into collecting? I know that you kind of helped me get back into collecting, but what got you really getting after finishing up a collection?
Well, I had everything already, almost, except, I started collecting when the first movie came out, the original movie, Star Wars, not that New Hope crap. So I started collecting, I was 6 when the movie came out, and I've always collected, and I've got my original toys, and my mom passed away, and they were in her attic, and so I got looking through there, and the memories just flooded back, and so it was, brought me back to my childhood, and I remember hours and hours of playing with the stuff, and so I went ahead and realized I was missing some of the last 17 because by then I was a teenager when the last Return of the Jedi came out and everything. And I stopped collecting. I was just wondering how much more of this crap they're gonna take, keep going. And so I stopped collecting, and I had a few of the last 17, but I went ahead and got on eBay and finished the last 17 collection, and I've kind of gone crazy after that.
So Trey, which one of these is your childhood AT-AT?
That one.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, I've bundled them together now.
Oh yeah.
So.
So what made you decide that you wanted to go for this many of one vehicle? Why do you want so many of these? I mean, I noticed you don't have this many like Imperial shuttles.
Like somebody else I know?
Yeah, that would make sense to me.
Yeah. This was my favorite toy, and back in the '80s, I had a couple already. So I like this toy.
Looks like you're prepared for the Battle of Hoth, huh?
Yeah, I am. I've got a few snow speeders also.
So I understand you've actually restored a lot of these because you bought some of them that had problems, like the motors didn't work or yellowing or missing parts or whatever. So tell me a little bit about the process and what things that you see that you have to fix.
Well, there's no fixing the dark color on the legs down here. That's just, you're going to have to live with that. When you buy one, you need to make sure it's not discolored. But, a lot of them are missing the chin guns and, the side guns, the doors, the battery cover, and, the light bulb cover. And, I get the motors working in them and stuff and get them functioning and all that.
How do you do that?
Well, I take them apart, and then sometimes if you hit these chin guns real hard like that, it'll free up. And then if not, you got to take this head apart and just start moving the motor and spinning it, and it'll come alive on its own from sitting. Say something?
Have you had any issues with when you buy them, like problems with like maybe the sellers and the way they ship them or issues at all?
Well, no, but a lot of times the people are scared to take this apart, and they'll send in a gigantic box which costs too much money. And honestly, don't be afraid of it. I mean, I know it's 40-some-odd years old, but you can take the legs off real easy. You just kind of hold it steady and firm and pull real hard, and they'll go right back on. I mean, I know it looks rough, and it looks like I'm killing the toy, but it's perfectly fine, and it just snaps back into place.
Can you put any leg in any position? They're all exactly the same?
Yes, all the legs you can just move around wherever you want them. And a lot of times I'll come in and I'll tighten up all these bolts and nuts and, make sure they're good to go. But
So I know you've had the luxury of owning one of the new Legacy BMF, the large size atats, and I think that Hasbro did a really good job with that one. Do you still think that the vintage one is superior to that one?
Well, Mike, I've been playing with this one for like 30 years. Why wouldn't I like this one better?
Well, all the new features.
I gotta say, it's a cool toy. But I'll take the janky Walker
over the new one with all the features, huh?
Yeah.
Here's photo evidence of how much Trey liked the AT-AT, which I call it AT-AT still, and that kind of gets under his skin. But there's a picture of Christmas and how he's got the AT-AT in the box for Christmas. That was a great year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Empire Strikes Back. That's a brand new toy. And it's called AT-AT, Mike, not AT-AT.
Why is that?
Watch the 1970s commercials on YouTube, and when they're brainwashing us children at 6 and 7, they're not calling it AT-AT. They're saying the new AT-AT walker. So it's an AT-AT walker.
Well, I guess you win on that front. So Trey pulled out a picture of a homemade Yoda costume. So this is something really cool because I'll let you talk about it and why you got this costume.
Well, Mike didn't give me enough time to find the original costume my parents bought, which was plastic, looked like a bib, and had a plastic mask. And the costumes in the 70s were horrible. So I was kind of very upset. My mom decided to go ahead and give it a shot to try to make me a Yoda costume. And, the 80s when Empire Strike Back first came out and Yoda first came out. And so that's me as Yoda.
So which one's your favorite AT-AT?
This one right here. Brand new in the box, decals unapplied, in baggies, everything.
So it's almost as if nobody even opened, like it was sealed, but yet this one's been opened, and you just kind of look through it, but it's all put in there exactly like the factory.
Correct. Somebody didn't love it like I do.
And then, is that two more sealed ones back there, or what?
No, they're just loose in the box. I got a couple more AT-AT walkers inside there. I couldn't pull them all out, but they're in there. I don't have a beautiful man room like Mike does.
Well, thank you for talking about your AT-AT collection today. And Tidarium Hanger out.